Hello, everyone, and welcome to my video on John Wick 5 plot details. In this video, I will talk about what we know so far about the fifth installment of the John Wick franchise, how it will continue from the ending of John Wick 4, and what we can expect from the spin-off series and movies that are set in the same universe. If you haven't seen John Wick 4 yet, be warned that this video will contain spoilers, so proceed at your own risk. John Wick 4 was a thrilling and satisfying conclusion to the saga of the legendary assassin who wanted to retire from his violent life, but was forced back into action by a series of events that started with the death of his dog. In the fourth movie, John Wick faced his ultimate challenge, a duel with the Marquis de Gramont, the leader of the High Table, the organization that rules the underworld of assassins. The duel was fought with dueling pistols at sunrise in Paris, and John was assisted by his old friend Caine, who was also a former assassin and a champion of the Marquis. John managed to win the duel by shooting the Marquis in the head, but he was also fatally wounded by Caine's bullet. As he lay dying on the steps of the Sacre Coeur, he asked Winston, the manager of the New York Continental Hotel and his ally, to bring him home. He then uttered his wife's name, Helen, and died peacefully. His body was buried next to hers in a grave marked loving husband. But John Wick's story is not over yet. John Wick 5 is already in the works, and it will continue from the ending of John Wick 4. According to the director Chad Stahelski, John Wick 5 will be the final chapter of the franchise, and it will explore the consequences of John's actions and the fate of the High Table. He also hinted that some familiar faces will return, such as Sophia, the Bowery King, and Karen. The cast of John Wick 5 has not been officially announced yet, but we can expect Keanu Reeves to reprise his role as John Wick, as well as Ian McShane as Winston, Laurence Fishburne as the Bowery King, Halle as Sophia, and Lance Reddick as Karen. John Wick 5 is expected to release in 2025, and it will be filmed back-to-back with John Wick 4. The plot of John Wick 5 is still a mystery, but some fans have speculated that it could involve a soft reboot, focusing on new characters and stories within the same universe. Stahelski has said that he has notebooks and notebooks of ideas for John Wick 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But he needs to find a compelling reason to bring John Wick back. He also said that he has no interest in doing a cash grab, and that he and Reeves would only do another John Wick movie if they had a good story. Some of the spin-off projects that are in development, such as the Continental and Ballerina, could also provide some clues or connections to John Wick 5. One of the spin-off projects that is already in production is the Continental, a miniseries that will premiere on Peacock in September 2023. The Continental will explore the origin of the iconic hotel for assassins in 1970s New York City, through the eyes and actions of a young Winston Scott, played by Colin Woodell. Mel Gibson will co-star as Cormac O'Connor, the current manager of the hotel, who has a dark past and a hidden agenda. The Continental will also feature some familiar characters from the John Wick films, such as the Adjudicator, Karen, and John Wick himself. In cameo appearances, another spin-off project that is in development is Ballerina, a film that will focus on a female assassin who seeks revenge against the people who killed her family. Ballerina will star Ana de Armas as Rooney, a character who was briefly seen in John Wick, Chapter 3 Parabellum, where she was portrayed by Unity Felon. Ballerina will be directed by Len Wiseman, and will also feature Angelica Huston as the director, Lance Reddick as Karen, Ian McShane as Winston, and Keanu Reeves as John Wick. Ballerina is expected to release in June 2025, and will be set between the events of John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum and John Wick, Chapter 4. The John Wick universe is not only expanding on the big screen, but also on the small screen. There are plans for a TV series called The Continental, which will focus on the origin of the iconic hotel for assassins in 1970s New York City, through the eyes and actions of a young Winston Scott, played by Colin Woodell. Mel Gibson will co-star as Cormac O'Connor, the current manager of the hotel, who has a dark past and a hidden agenda. The Continental will also feature some familiar characters from the John Wick films, such as the Adjudicator, Karen, and John Wick himself. In cameo appearances, another TV series that is in development is The Bowery King, which will follow the rise of the charismatic leader of the underground network of homeless assassins, played by Laurence Fishburne. The Bowery King will explore his backstory, his motivations, and his relationship with John Wick. The series will also introduce new characters and factions that operate in the shadows of the John Wick universe. The John Wick universe is one of the most thrilling and captivating action franchises of the 21st century, and it shows no signs of slowing down. With John Wick 5, Ballerina, the Continental, and the Bowery King, fans can expect more adrenaline-pumping action, intriguing characters, and stunning visuals. Whether John Wick 5 will be the last chapter of the franchise, or whether there will be more to come, remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: John Wick will always be the Baba Yaga, the man you send to kill the boogeyman.